in the house? Do we have anybody who is not a student? Okay, that makes it. We have the right audience. That guy is a student. In fact, he wants to go for service and you need this book. So, before we start, can we put our hands together? I'll tell you the reason why you are doing this. Clap, clap, clap. Better, bigger, clap, clap. Thank you so much. We are actually clapping for the author of this book in person of Olaniyi Samuel Oluwasegun. Because after the launch and we had an opportunity to take a part of this book, and then some persons are here and they can testify to it that this book is actually a compass that everyone needs. Before we go deeper into the review, I just want to ask him a question. Now, this is not really a panel session, but it's still a review. What actually compelled you to put this together? Because we have seen people that want to write a book. In fact, somebody like me, but then this year has just been a roller coaster. And then the book is not even forthcoming. It's just in my head and my brain. But then what actually compelled you to put this together for students?
Okay. Hi, guys. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Are we together? Okay, so what really compelled me to put up this particular book together was because I interact with a lot of young people like myself every day. And then I realized that all of them are always in one. So I try to divide the book into 4 seasons. That's before you get into school. What you should do before you get into school, what you should do while you're in school, what you should do immediately you graduate, and what you should do while you're waiting after service. So I figured they're always asking the same question. All of them are either in one of these 4 phases. I was like, okay, why not document these experiences, what you know, into a book, such that I can always refer them back to the book at every point in time. I know they can always go back to the book as well to be able to draw lessons from the book. So that was really why I put up the student compass.
Thank you so much. So I would be starting I would not choose a particular chapter, but then I would start from chapter 1. And I hope all of us were aware of that slang that year, school has come. In fact, they use it to sing songs, school has come. If you are here and you believe that school has come, just raise your hand. We'll not judge you. We listen, we don't judge. It's a safe space. Nobody. So school is not scam. Okay. Please put your hands together for yourself. At least we have the right audience here. So there was a phrase that caught my attention in that particular chapter. In Nigeria, certificate still opens doors, but only if you add value beyond them. So most of us now, we want to go to school and then everybody wants to be like for the certificate. At least, last, if I no get for the big 4, I will get work in maybe GT Bank or First Bank, and you earn money. If we have people that have that idea here, can I just see you give a Wi-Fi? Okay, nobody. I know you have it in your mind. So, yes, now, I know. The book said in Nigeria, certificate still opens door. But then you need to add value to it beyond your certificate. And that part it caught my attention because I'm a recent graduate. I graduated March this year. And I've seen people with their certificates, they are still around. They're even asking how you they navigate your life. What are you doing? Now they have the certificates, but now what do they do with it? What value do you need to add? So maybe this would give you time to actually reflect and ask yourself, what value do I have? I think I would even want to ask the audience. I would just pick few persons. What value? What do you have? Caring. I don't know why I had to pick you. But then if somebody just walks up to you and say, with certificates, what else do you have? Please, what do you have? Like, I'm your employer now, just tell me. Or Victor is your employer because he has money.
Okay, aside my certificate, what value do I have? Well, I'll say that okay. Well, my skill and as a writer, which I'm actually actively working on. I don't know if
you her certificate now, and she said she has skills. She didn't mention the skill, though. Let's just assume the skill is like a fine girl, because fine girl is also a skill now. Fine girl is a skill, and then she writes. Did you get convinced?
As my baby, yes. As our employer, no. As our employer, no.
Okay. A guy, let's do gender balance right now.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
My name is Sam Smith. My certificate, if I'm working in an organization, see, it's not necessary. Because I see that having skill is more essential than the paper. Because I've seen a lot of people that are done with that paper, but they still struggle.
So now I'm asking you, sir. Now you are bringing your certificate to OSO. He has a big organization. Employed. What value do you have to that value you are holding?
I will increase try to say increasing the how should I put this there?
Now you don't even know whether my daddy has a company. I'm trying to pick employers for my daddy for 2026. But go on.
Okay, I will increase the level of high skills whereby every employee he has in his company should have a skill that they are good at, that they will develop in it, and it's not that they will just me go in that how should I put it, that's what they know, but to improve them in their skills.
Okay, I'm not convinced. Let me ask OSO convinced. But then OSO, are you little bit, and then OSO. Please, I hope you plan on getting this book. Please mark him. He must tell me if he doesn't get it. So now, I would give a brief background about myself. I graduated March 2025. In fact, my BSc result was ready by July, but I started working by May, June. I was already working in a bank. And I studied sociology. So you might want to ask, what is a sociology student doing in a bank? And when the opportunity came from the head of HR for that particular bank, I said, I don't want to work in the bank. Because my sister once had issue with POS and money. Anything loss and profits and no day. And then she said, no, you can work with human resource. Although we don't give that out to interns, but then we can give you. What did I do? I volunteered to anchor for their fest that they had in school in Kano. And that was just it. So if you ask me now, beyond my certificate as a sociologist, would they even get work with sociology? You teach in a classroom. In fact, NYSC posted me to a school. So you should know my fate right now, that if I finish outside, labor market is school that is waiting for me. If I don't add value. But what can I add? I can add communications. I can add problem solving. I can add teamwork. I can look for how your organization can leverage using digital. Even if I don't know so much about tech, I have friends I can reach out to and say, what do we do? When I got to the organization, I told my supervisor, okay, we send newsletter out to staff. Can we make it to be course, not billing newsletter? Let's give them courses on leadership, on communication. We have people who work in the bank and they don't do that. Till today, my supervisor is still, they rate me. So when we talk about what other skills do you have as students or beyond your certificate, it's not because we are trying to pressurize you. It's because the labor market is saturated. If you don't have something that distincts you, you will just be in Kudende. The highest you do is POS or teacher. So I will give the floor now to OSO because he wrote the book and there is more in the book. He will just say a few things about that and then we'll dive into the next chapter.
Thank you. I think Anna has done a great job to lay emphasis on what the question she asked. And you see, most of the times especially for a lot of us who are in school, because they've told you of the possibility that your certificate can get for you as soon as you graduate, we get so exhumed with wanting to get good grades, and then we miss out important aspects of our lives. my first international volunteering opportunity I got was because I started learning how to write while I was in my 300 level, and I started learning how to use analytics machines to analyze data to help organization make informed decisions. That was one of the things that granted me my first international volunteering opportunity, and it was a paid gig, right? So, as much as getting good grades is important, it is not the ultimatum. Are we together? Get the good grades. I encourage it. Get the good grades. In fact, it is of recent I realized that it's not enough to come out with a first class. Come out with a strong first class, because in first class, there's first class. Trust me. You will not know until you get to the global market when you have to compete. It's a deadly world out there. You have to fight tooth and nail to get a position, to earn or claim your own stake in the market. Whether you have leverage or not. Are you competent? Can you prove it? I am telling you, there are opportunities for you in the global market. It's just for you to know the right information, the right time to apply, and have the right people to guide you in your applications. So again, I repeat, the grades are good, but having the good grade is not the ultimatum. Beyond the certificate, add skills. Let me tell you basic skills that I think everybody should go and learn. PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, Excel. Whether you study sociology or not, go and learn. Those are very basic skills. But I'm telling you, those are things that set you apart in any organization. Mega has worked with brand. Victor has worked with brand. Anna has worked with brand. You can ask them. Go and learn how to use Google Docs. You see, nobody is saying that you go and learn how to code, right? I didn't say go and learn how to do data analysis. I say as trivial as this thing sounds, I am telling you, they can set you apart. Victor was sharing with us during lunch and that his biggest deal currently is because he shares out newsletter. Is it newsletter, Victor? Just newsletter. You'll be surprised that there are people here that don't know how to use Gmail. It sounds simple, but I'm telling you, these things are what sets you apart. One of my, during my performance review, my first performance review, while I was in Solina, one of my colleagues then, the reason why it was at a probational level was because every messages that was sent to him, he could not reply it using that. He will go and create another message. Slows down work because you cannot refer, your superiors cannot refer to the previous messages that they sent to you. What that is going to do for you is that they will start micromanaging to you. Start micromanaging. Do you know what that means? Everything, they want to be seeing what you're doing after every 5 minutes. Nobody is going to lead you to a task to do for an hour and to delay. So, grades are good. Trust me, they are. But beyond that, add cues. PowerPoint, pick ones. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to speak. Public speaking is not for public figures. It's not for public speakers alone. It's not for being a comms girl. Everybody should be a public speaker. Because you'll be given opportunities to present. There's so much in the book.
Thank you so much. Can we put our hands together for him once again? You see why I said we needed to do this review together. If you leave me to it, we would have finished. But then, this is just chapter 1, just chapter 1 of the book. So, we'll move into chapter 5. I don't know why I'm jumping, but if you want what is in 2, 3, 4, get the book. Thank you. Amen.
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 Thank you. So in chapter 5, you listed out some few things we should pay attention to while in school. Spiritually, academically, financially, and emotionally. can you please just help us shed a little bit of light into it? You know, what is your take on going into school and then in 100 level, I already have a boyfriend. I shall marry. Now I'm done with school. They're asking me, where is the man? So can I just touch that a bit emotionally, financially? Some of us bank. I think it was still last week I was telling Shino that I want to go for masters. Because the day I dropped my pen for BSc, my two eldest brothers have not sent me money. They feel like you are done with school. Find your life. So how then do we balance? Can you just help us shed more light as regards that?
Okay, so I will say a little on the spiritual aspect, then I will go to the emotional aspect and then the financial aspect very quickly. So I shared in the morning that one of the testimony I have while I was in school was that while I was the academic secretary of my fellowship, NIFES, I'd never hit a 5.0 GPA. But when I became NIFES president, I hit a 5.0 GPA twice. It's a serious testimony for me. So your spiritual aspect while you are in school is not something you should trivialize. It's as important as the education itself. Because if you refuse to pay attention to that part of your life, when you graduate, you struggle spiritually. Trust me, you're going to struggle. And then you will notice that you've gotten all the grades and then this part of your life is lagging. Financially, I will always say this. My motivation to start earning was not passion. It was poverty. I just hate being broke. It was getting to that point because my allowance from home was not static. While I was in under level, my allowance from home was 5,000 naira. And it's not consistent. When I'm going to school, they will give me the following month and I may not see it. I cannot call the house for handout. Nobody's going to give me money for handout. From 300 level, I had to take up the responsibilities by myself. I started paying my own fees and everything. But I didn't just grow to that point. There was a motivation. There was a reason. So you have to find your own reason. Beyond my experience, right? My experience can only be a pointer. You have to find your reason. You have to pay attention to this. Because the problem is that if you are not paying attention to this part of your life while you are still in school, when you are out of school, you will notice that you are getting frustrated because you don't even know how to start making money. So it's better you start at a phase of your life where you can make this, you can start, you can fail, you can start, you can fail. Nobody's going to, hold you because there's so much having to do. You're trying to balance academics, your spiritual life and all. Make mistakes, but ensure that those mistakes are a pointer to a particular direction. If you fail to do that, when you graduate, you're going to get very frustrated. Emotionally, I'm not going to lie, while I was in under level, my first semester, I was in a relationship, but the person was not at my school. Right? But eventually, we had to break up on a very mutual consent. We had reasons, actually. So in case you are dating someone, go and break off that relationship. So we had to break up. And then I'm a very emotional person. You just don't know. So when I got to school, that was when I had a target to have a first class. I think on 100 level. I didn't know how important it was. So I knew that I don't know how to sleep over issues. Like I have with my going to, I don't know. So imagine being in that kind of situation. I have a test or an exam the next day, and then my girlfriend is playing hard to get. I'm going to fail that exam. There's no two ways to it. So I decided to stay single until my final years. It was even as I was done with all of my exams. That was when I went into a relationship. That was my decision. But you have to know what works for you. You have to find yourself to know what works for you. But I don't think it's right for you to be in under level, 200 level, you're still trying to find your feet, and the next thing on your mind is a relationship. You are likely be too every try it succeed. Likely not going to be that exception. If you try it very hard. So as you can, while you are going into school, aspect of your life, keep it in check. Ensure that you have been able to guard your heart to a point where it can be able to withstand whatever is coming for it. I don't know if I'm making sense. So yeah, that really was it for me. Yeah.
Would not really want to take so much time, but then there is another aspect I would want us to talk about. I told you we'll not talk about everything in this book. So if you are really eager, just get it. A copy is how much, sir? 5,000 naira. That's money you want to use to oblay. So before I go to the next chapter we'll be talking about, how many of you made friends while in school? First to start is, how many of us are in tertiary institution here? Maybe you're done or you are currently in one. Let me see your hand. Okay, beautiful. So how many of us made friends in school? When I talk of friends, now it's not just classmates. It's not that person you just save as sheriff sociology. You get that kind of friends. Like I mean, friends. Let me see your hands. Okay, beautiful. And over time, you've been able to sustain that friendship. Let me see your hand. Okay, your hands are going down. I love this. So I would read the phrase out of this book that says, your destiny is your network of people you've not met yet. So start building wisely. I know it's easy for us to go to events. Let me use myself. Now, if I go to events, I'll be like, I want to meet 5 people. And I want to connect with them. I can tell you, after that day, if I'm lucky, we are status viewers. Till it becomes, I think Victor can relate. Till it becomes, maybe when you need something, then you remember, oh, this organization, I have somebody that works there. Now, we'll be pushing back that question to our writer, yes, the author of this book. How do you think we can actually hold on to those friendships, and then even after school, we can always get to reach out to them and just build lasting friendship? Because we understand that your network is your network. In Nigeria, it is who you know. Funny how you don't even know, maybe your classmate's daddy is like the DG of NYS. You don't need to go to Adamawa to go and serve. Victor. So please, how do we get to maintain those relationships?
Okay, so
Did you have one? How were you able to, maybe practical?
okay. So I had great friends while I was in school. One of the things I did intentionally, I kept my friends in categories. So I had spiritual friends. I had people I could run to, because I'm not one to miss students and to miss classes, but it got to a point in my life that I was presiding 2 organizations at the time, NIFES and my departmental association. So there were certain demands that warrants that I would not be in class when a lecturer is in class. And I'm one student that 70% of whatever I hear from the lecturer in class is sufficient for me. Most times. That's why I do not like to miss classes. So I have friends that I can run to, Baba Alpha, this class, break it down for me. Right? I had friends that were money conscious, legally. Like, all they were always talking about is how to make money, how we can multiply what we already have. So that was what I did. And I think it's fair. Because one thing you must understand is that relationships are seasonal. Relationships are for phases. I was telling Ima the other day, my closest friends from school, I think last time we spoke, one of them was April. And we still view each other's status today. We didn't fight. We pursued different paths. So in those paths, we met new people that was going to help us part. Frankly speaking, I know that eventually if we had to jump on a call today with the guy, we can be on that call for maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, and then we'll do a recap of all we have not said for the past how many months. But nobody is asking anybody in that, this one is proud. That's your problem. Because at the end, it is life and destiny. But you have, of course, you're not doing that to hurt their ego constantly. So friendship, there's a quote that says that life is in sizes, life is in phases, and then women's are in sizes, right? So as you grow, as you become, you're going to meet new people. I think I got closer with Mega this year. I got closer with Jegede, was it last year? I mean, I've been doing the things I'm doing for how many years? But this time, I expanded and, maybe not nature. My destination made me encounter these people. I don't know if you get it. So make friends, but be conscious about the kinds of friends you make. If you have 5 foolish friends, you are the 6th foolish person. If you have 5 wise friends, you are the 6th wise person. It's not just a quote, it is just reality. I hope I'm able to answer the question. Yeah. We just have 3 minutes. Yeah.
Why? You might want to ask, why should you learn how to write essay? I think the first time I made 100K, I wrote an essay for somebody. I was just in school, and then they say, you've been writing on Facebook now. Can you write? I said, I can write. Oh. And then she said, essay. And then before you know, aside the fact that it is for you, you can also be instrumental. Like OSO said, learn how to write, learn how to use. How many of us know how to use Microsoft Word here? Let's even start. Do you even know where it is on? They give you a laptop now. Before even do that practical self for you. May we know wife material and husband material. If we give you a laptop, do you know where to navigate your Microsoft Word? Let me see you. Let me see your hands. Don't lie, oh. Okay, Uncle Eso, can you see? Excel, PowerPoint, Google, Microsoft Edge. Okay, we really have a lot of work to do. So, the reason why okay, or you, if your hand is not up, you have a lot of work to do. Beyond writing New Year resolutions, these are a few things you might want to learn. You might just want to understand how to operate a system, how to work with Microsoft Word. It's not every time you go and download WPS. Do you know how Google Doc works? Somebody will tell you, I sent it to your drive. You'll be looking for a drive. Some of us don't even know what a Google Drive is. Some of us don't even know those Google apps that we can always use. Please, let's work on, this is 21st century. Before you call yourself a Gen Z, be a Gen Z upstairs too. It's not only by appearance. And if you need anything, I tell you, this book is your go-to. It's a compass. The title is Student Compass. If you need it, it is for you. And if you want to even leverage your finance, I've told you how to make money. You can write projects for somebody and make money. It's now that I don't have time. I'll even go back to it because I'm broke now. I need to go and start writing projects for people and making money. Essays, SOP, people are looking for scholarship. They are so busy. They can just tell you, Karen, can you help me? Yes, I can. Understand how Grammarly works. It's not every time that it's ChatGPT for love replies or love text messages. I hope that with this, we have been able to do justice to this, and you'll be able to get this at the end of the day. Please put your hands together for our altar once again. Thank you so much for listening.
I feel like she set me up. I was not aware that she was going to do this. I did it, and I'm going to say it. You see, I've written quite a number of books, but this particular book is not one of the